So this is the BVW Determination Form. And I'm going to rely on my handbook here to point out a few things. So the first thing you notice, who has seen the core delineation form before? Okay. A few people. The first thing you'll notice is that it's pretty similar visually to that. When you're reviewing these submittals, I'd recommend looking at the instruction sheet. So this is at the beginning of Appendix A. There's 6 pages of instructions here. And so as you're reviewing it, you can look at every single box and see if you have what you need. Overall, the goal is to align expectations in the submittals and review of those delineation reports. So if you're looking at the instructions, the applicants are looking at those instructions too, right? So they should match. It's intended to align with the core wetland determination data sheets as well. Note that the form is only part of the complete delineation report. So the name of our form is a determination form. So it's not a delineation form. It doesn't give you a line. It just tells you where you're standing. It's in either an upland or a wetland. And so you need figures, you need photos to piece it all together. In most cases, one wetland form and one non-wetland form should be completed for each delineated wetland. If you've got dozens of wetlands and they're all pretty homogeneous, right, maybe you require less data. If there's one big wetland and it's got lots of different wetland types in there, maybe you require more than one data sheet for that wetland. We also recommend that for some sites, if there's an absence of a wetland that needs to be documented, require one of these sheets and just document that it's an upland. The project information, this is the top part of the first sheet, is a great tool, like when you're sitting in your desk for a review before you go out and check on the site. So this is site-specific here, and I'm going to go over a few of these kind of desktop tools. So we are, you can't really tell, but the line that's horizontal up on the top, that's this road right here, right? And so our site is out here. You're going to take a right, and then it's the first road on the left, and then that parking is right there. And then our wetland is along the blue line right in here. And so things we're looking for when we're, at our desk and looking at a report before we go see the site. We're looking at topos, we're looking at the soil pits, we're looking at MassDEP. And so all of that are great tools to kind of familiarize yourself before you go out in the field. My goal with this is to try to get you familiar with the site before we go out there. So here's a better kind of view of where we're at. So Route 27 is right up in front of this. We are going to be meeting at this parking area that's just right down the road, and then we're going to be walking south into the wooded area. And so what I'm looking for is like, inundation or wetlands. It doesn't scream at me that it's wet right here, right? So like, I'll give you the next slide here. So this is a leaf off. All of these are from Google Earth. They're easy to look at. Again, this doesn't hit me in the face like, wow, this site's really wet. And so, but if there's things on here that kind of catch my eye, then like I'm looking for that when I'm reviewing the application. And so this is the NRCS Web Soil Survey. It's talked about in our handbook. It's a good tool. So this red area here is where we're going to be doing our field work. And the soil report reports that it's 100% hydric soils. So if you see an application and there's not a wetland on there, but you look at the NRCS soil survey, it's got 100% hydric soils, then I'd recommend going to see the site and asking the applicant to dig you a pit right there and see if it's wet, right? So these are all tools to get you ready to go out and inspect your site. MassMapper is also really great. MassMapper has this map as a wetland, so we're going to be parking over here on the left, before the green space, and then we're going to be crossing over that stream, and then we're going to be looking at some of those wetlands down there. So again, if MassMapper has a wetland map of your site and your applicant submits something that says there's not a wetland there, then that's a red flag. Go see it. Hydrology, Scott went over a lot of this already, so I'm not going to rediscuss it here. Same with the vegetation. We can talk about this in the field though. Vegetation dominance test. Scott went over all three of those. Soils. So this is kind of all bringing all together what Deb talked about. So the top part of the soil sheet has our depth and our colors. So if you're brand new to this and you want to take away one thing from today, maybe look at those colors. Look at those chromas of 2s or 1s and the simplified hydric soil list. If we focus on that, if you have a little bit more experience, then maybe we want to remember which indicators that we'll see today, right? So let's just try to take away something from the field, and I'd recommend that be soil, something soil related. We'll talk about delineation review. Page 58 through 60 is the handbook pages that are referenced here. So review delineation report, identify concerns. That's that desktop assessment that I just went over. There's several different tools that you can use for that. Conduct a site assessment, walk the boundary, right? If you feel uncomfortable with something, ask for more information. Try to reconcile that. If they need to revise the plan, ask them to revise the plan. And you can always use a peer review as well, or reach out to our region. Ultimately, if you can't reconcile what was submitted versus what you think is in the field, we cite 310 CMR 10.05 6C here. You can issue an order prohibiting work if you can't reconcile. Yeah, question?
Just one question. Did you say it's accurate that commissions can require the determination forms?
Delineation forms?
Yes, the new determination forms.
Yeah, so we recommend the use of them, but it doesn't preclude something else being submitted, right? So if the conservation commissions have everything you need to feel comfortable with the project, you don't have to use the MassDEP determination sheet, but it's recommended, and especially when there's an appeal, right? So our handbook, our guidance carry a lot of weight, and that we recommend using it. So, do the regents y'all want to add anything to that? Or?
The regulations don't specifically say that they have to submit that data sheet, the determination form, but if the commission feels that they need that to determine where the wetland is, that would certainly, the issuing authority can say, I need that. If we don't have that, then we don't have the information we need. How that would get pulled up on appeal, I don't know. If there was a very detailed delineation report and there was other information, they just didn't give you that form, I'm not quite sure how that would hold up, Tyler. If the appeal came to you and it was denied, the only reason it was denied was there were no data sheets.
Typically, someone will submit just to satisfy the commission instead of getting that.
Yeah, the commission absolutely has the authority to say, we feel that we need these data forms for us to be able to make our
Yeah, ask for data sheets. And that's it for this presentation.